The concept of digital media has always struggled to conceptualise in my brain. I much prefer a physical video game case, a physical console, a controller. So when Antstream Arcade approached me and asked me to have a look at their software and review it, I was incredibly sceptical. I had a Zoom call with them and I said, look guys, the bulk of my audience are even into physical media and I'm not sure how this is going to translate. But I've spent a lot of time with this software on my Xbox Series S and I have a lot to say. In this episode, I have gone from skeptic to a fan for a number of reasons. I found lots of different surprises playing Antstream Arcade and I'm going to tell you exactly what they are and why you might like them as well. This is a great piece of software, but you're going to ask why? Why? I already own this. Why would I bother buying this on the Xbox or the PC? Well, I'm about to tell you why. I couldn't have possibly have been more skeptical on a cloud-based streaming service of retro games as I was with Antstream Arcade. Of course, you can play it now on your Xbox. It launched on the 21st, it's the 24th of July, as I film this and as I put this out to you guys. So we're going to be taking a look at it. I'm going to give you my honest and brutal opinion, starting with exactly what you see when you boot this up for the very first time. Booting up Antstream Arcade for the first time, you'll be greeted with a homepage that looks like this. You can scan through the top 10, you can look at the auto categories that have been generated for you. You've got RPGs, sports, pinball, action arcade, etc, etc. 1,300 games to get to can seem a little bit discombobulating, and I was fearful going into this project that I was going to be a little bit over encumbered. So my first top tip to you is to scan over to this. This is your filter system that will help you navigate this software beautifully. You can automatically type in the search bar, of course, my favourite console. I'm going to whack in the Super Nintendo. 42 results are found and you can see which SNES games are in there, and it's just super easy. If I'm honest, I lived in this filter system throughout my playtesting as I was playtesting essentially. So I wanted to kind of use this for you because you can see that there's also suggested, there's pre-populated suggested titles you can use. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at fighting. You can see that the different fighting games comes up, etc, etc. We're going to head over to year because this is really cool. You can see 1990, all of the games that were released in 1990, and I think that's a nice touch as well because I tend to remember certain years of my childhood where I played said game. Here we've got the LucasArts stuff as well. You can see Zombies Ate My Neighbours in the corner. One is the Super Nintendo release and I think one is the Mega Drive release. We're going to be taking a look at gameplay, of course, in this review as well as sound. And then we've got some really nice Warner titles. You can see you can even play the classic Mortal Kombat in Antstream Arcade. Okay, so there's some warmth winning me over here. I really like that search and that filter menu. Definitely one that I've been using so much of, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that develops. Of course, I'd like to see some more categories. I'd love to see more games, which of course we're getting every week. And later in this video, I'll give you a sneak peek as to what is coming up. Because when I did my research for this, I was pretty shocked at what actually is coming up. All right, check this next feature. Again, I thought it was pretty useless, but it turns out to be quite cool. Dipping back onto the main page, if you look in the top right, you can head over to settings, and I think this is quite a nice touch, your avatar. And this is going to become pretty crucial because Antstream Arcade is packed full of challenges, which took me by surprise, so pick your avatar wisely. So definitely having your little avatar there, it mimics exactly what we have on the Xbox and the PlayStation and the Switch. You can have an avatar, and of course with this being a heavily focused challenge-based platform, that avatar is a representation of me. I wanted something really cool and really powerful and really kick-ass because your avatar is going to show on the leaderboards. Speaking of which, Here's how the challenges work and here's what I thought of them. Very nice surprise, this feature, something I didn't think I'd care for.
It turns out challenges and tournaments are a big part of the ecosystem, or at least that's what I felt when I was using the software. It kind of jumps out of you in the tournaments tab, but there's also a little challenges tab within some of the games. And this was a big surprise for me because I was like, I'm not going to be interested in challenges. I don't care. I'm just not bothered. I'm very kind of old school. Let me just play the game. I just really didn't care. But when I actually started to play and the challenge ended or I lost my life or whatever, I was like, I want to go again. I need to do this. I want to go again. And seeing that global leaderboard, which is live with everybody else's avatar and everybody else's score, and when they got that score, it really motivated me to want to go back in and play it again. It felt like a tangible process for me. So this was a very, very nice surprise. I was blown away at how it made me feel, especially going into this software as an absolute skeptic. So that was really nice. I think that's a really nice caveat. There's lots of caveats that took me by surprise in this test, and I'm going to be talking to you about them in the next 10 or so minutes. I naively thought that every single game would also include a challenge, but that's not the case. Games with challenges, there is a specific tab for that. You can check that out. It's easy. You can see, you click R-Type 2, your challenge is right there. For example, if you go into a different game without a challenge, you'll notice that the challenge tab is not there. It will just say play. So that's worth noting. I like that.
But you're here for retro games, and there are, as I film, over 1,300 retro games ranging from the ZX Spectrum, the C64, right up to the PlayStation 1, which there's very little of at time of filming. So I want to show you the things that I loved about the gaming now, and I think it's important that you make your own judgments as well. The sounds, the quality. I played on this 4K 50-inch HDR TV and I was like, bro, these graphics are going to look shocking. But the games kept the 4.3 aspect ratio, so that was really, really nice. There's none of these fancy little borders, or at least I didn't find any borders within the settings, so I just had the black at either side of the 4.3 aspect ratios. You're going to hear some sounds as well. I think that's really important so you can hear it. And I'll tell you what I think after we've rolled the games.
Clicking on a game will bring you to something like this. You can look at the controls, you can see your save states, and of course you can just see the challenges. There's lots of information before you physically dive into the game itself. And indie games, to my surprise, there's quite a lot of them. I didn't expect there to be quite the mixture. Tanglewood for me is one of the more well-known alongside the likes of Flea and Tapeworm, but there's lots of really nice indie games on here. So that was a nice touch, and I think that's a really nice way to support indie developers. I've done a lot of videos on indie games on the channel, and I'm very much in favour of supporting those developers. It's very important, and there's so much talent out there. So I'd just like to mention this as a little way of saying kudos to the guys and gals at Antstream Arcade for including this. This was a nice little touch. Cheers, guys.
Raiden wins. Metal Slug. Thank you. Heavy Machine Gun. Thank you. Heavy Machine Gun.
So honestly, the games looked better than what I expected. On this screen, on this massive screen, having been used to playing on that CRT when you were a little girl, I just think they looked pretty decent on there. They're not overly stretched, the polygons don't look overly garish. I didn't play any game that I found looked horrific. There was a tiny little bit of slowdown and kind of texture pop in on one of the games. I think it was a Dizzy game that I played. But other than that, it sounded really good and it looked really, really good. So well done. I was very skeptical, but it was at this point that I was really starting to shine to this software, but we ain't done yet. Now, if you can't play couch co-op, you can play online, you can play tournaments, there's challenges, you can have this really cool social tab that I'll just show you right now.
Another nice feature is this social tab, which can be accessed by clicking your avatar in the top right. You can search for anybody else that's using Antstream. If you click on their profile, and we'll pick this random one, you can see how many games they've played, their achievements, recently played, and favourites. So that's really cool, and if you'd like to add me, it is thegebs24. So get adding me on Antstream Arcade, and maybe we can set some tournaments up.
So definitely make sure you add me on Antstream and we can keep an eye on each other's gamer tags. And this bit really excited me because you can see everything like you would on a PlayStation interface. You can see what trophies your friends have got, what game they're playing. It really does mimic that current generation experience. So again, very nice touch, Antstream. Very nice touch of having that kind of social element to this, both couch and online. Massive thumbs up so far. I found one PlayStation 1 game in this as it stood, but I did a lot of research in this video and I headed over, well, I'll shut up and I'll roll this.
I really wanted to understand what Antstream Arcade was about, so I hopped onto their YouTube channel and they've made this really nice 30-minute or so presentation video about what to expect. Now, I was thinking, what value is this? There's a lot of value here. There's so many games coming up that got me absolutely amped, and in particular, there's a lot of PlayStation 1 titles that are coming. Now again, it's that whole ethos of physical versus digital. Thankfully, I have a decent sized collection and I own a lot of these, but it's made me realise something else. As a streamer, I stream a lot, and it takes a lot of effort to set up original hardware to be able to play those games on stream, whereas now, if there's a game on here that I want to stream, I can simply hop onto my Xbox, which is fortunately have one hooked up to the stream setup, and I can play one of these games. So it's going to make it a lot easier for me to live stream. That's something I never ever considered going into this project. I was just, it's digital, and I have put this partnership off for so long, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to take a punt. Now it's coming to the Xbox, it's got a massive mainstream audience, and online there's so much good buzz about it. I thought that this platform would have a lot of backlash. It hasn't. Go and take a look at the comment section on the Xbox page announcing this. There's so much good feedback this far in.
So there's loads of PS1 games coming. And again, one thing that I never considered, and I've already mentioned this, was the streaming element. For me, I'm going to be doing a lot around kind of live streaming stuff over on my Twitch channel. It will help me to kind of just be a streamlined process as a streamer, not having to set up my PlayStation 1 or, you know, my Super Nintendo. Obviously, if there's not a game on here, I'll still do that. But I've got a good library here to dive into on some retro gaming streams. So again, that was a nice surprise for me. And that's again why I was really skeptical to begin with. But this has really opened my eyes into the value that this software is adding to me. Now, of course, you can hop onto Antstream's Discord, and during my Zoom phone call with the guys, it was Neil that said to me that there's lots of high score tables in there as well. That feature is not for me. I have joined the Discord, but I'm not too bothered about tapping into that. Why? I love the stuff that's already built into the software. You're able to see where you are on the leaderboard. I love the fact that it says how many days ago you got that said score. For me, that's enough. Another thing that I would like to see improved is when you're navigating the pages, whether it's the main page or you're within a game menu itself and you scroll into challenges and social, the highlighted text box is very dim. At time after time I was struggling to find where I was. Have I clicked that? No. Is it on play? No, it's up there on settings. I would like to see some accessibility features implemented into the settings whereby that's brighter and bigger. Other than those two things, the Discord I'm not fussed about, and that this is a fantastic piece of software. So I really did go from skeptic, being a big advocate of physical media and saying, no, I won't like this product. I tried it, and yes, it is a sponsored video, but I did make it very clear that if I didn't like this product, I would tell my audience, because my integrity is important and your experiences is equally as important. If you want to get it yourselves, there'll be a link in the description. I don't make any money from any sales, but they will use that link to track how many people have clicked on my click-through basically. It's $29.99 for the entire year on Xbox, or you can pay a lifetime pass of $79.99 for its entirety. Remember, new games are going to be added, so I've got a year's pass. Hopefully we can do something with the lifetime pass, because I really do like this. It's going to be excellent to see how this evolves going forward. So that is my ultimate fair and brutal critique of Antstream Arcade. If you've enjoyed this video, it would massively help me out if you can leave a like and definitely hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much to the guys at Antstream Arcade for giving me this opportunity to do a sponsored video with them. Hopefully we can get more things going in the future, and if there's anything you'd like to see, let us know in the comment section below. But for now, I'm going to leave it there. My name is Gemma, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.
And
need a few seconds of your time to tell you about channel memberships. If you guys want to become a channel member, click join from the main page or the second link in the description. There are 3 tiers, all with different perks for you if you want to become a team member. Thanks for your time. Let's continue with the video.